Page 28, 59th Street Bridge Song. Whoa, that's a mouthful. Or Feelin Groovy, also known as Feelin Groovy. This piece is kind of just a swing piece. It's just in a swing style. They've not written it that way. They've written it with a bunch of dotted rhythms. But they could have actually just put in eighth notes, even eighth notes, and play in a swing style, and you do rhythm similar to this. Anyway, it's written this way. Let's learn it the way it's written first, and then we'll make some adjustments. Common timer, 4/4 time, no sharps or flats. We're in the key of C major. Make sure you can do the C major scale, at least 2 octaves up and down. And while you're there, do the A minor scale too. Same key signature. And you should probably be doing the arpeggios. The C major and the A minor arpeggios, it's the tremolo exercise I'm after here. Rather than, and 1 or 2 octaves up and down is fine, but it's the tremolo exercise I'm after on those arpeggios for now. But for this piece, take it one hand at a time. I think the fingering's pretty good, but let's just double check it. Then the rhythm. At the beginning, you got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and it's just tricky. Let's just take out all the ties and just play all the notes. And we get this. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Like so. And once you get a handle on that, you can put the ties back in. That's one way of thinking about it. Another way is thinking about it is simply play the 16th note, whatever the note is. If it's a 16th note, play a little quicker than you think it should be played. 1 and 2 and... See, we want to hear 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 3, something like that. Well, play the 16th note a little quicker. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 4 and 1 and. Watch this fingering. 1 and 2 and 4 and. And the third line, on top of all that mess, they throw in a triplet. You just gotta love it. You know they're having a bad day. It's 1 enda, 2 enda. Well, piano players have to be able to do this all the time, and you'll get good at it because you'll get it. So you're going 1 and 2 and 1 enda, 2 enda, 1 and. You got to be able to switch back and forth. In the third line, we got to do that. 1 enda, 2. That's triplets. 1 enda. And then we're back to. Watch the fingering, second measure. It's here, here. That's the chord, and that's fingering we're using. So that's sort of where it is. Then finally, the last measure of the third line, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. And the fingering is fine. There's others I could offer, but we'll just leave it at that. And then come up with the thumb. I don't like that. I see nothing wrong with staying right there and going up here. Just stay there. You don't need to be moving around. So the last line on page 28 is here is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and triplet. 4 and 4 and 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1. This is tricky. Here, this is the last line on page 28 in the third measure. That first C comes right before beat 2. The second C, you see it lines up with the quarter note in the bottom staff. That's on beat 2. 1 E and a 2. 1 E and a 2. Or 1 and 2. Just right before 2. 1 and 2 and. Well, real super slow. 1 E and a 2 E and a 1 E and a. You have to write in the counting above the staff if it'll help you. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and. Eventually you gradually speed it up and you can feel it. You don't need to count it anymore. But it would be better if you could figure this one out on your own, because this will help you in figuring out other stuff, because sometimes it is tricky. And then what you have and you speed it up, you think, oh, is that all it is? Well, I can feel that. Okay. That fingering pretty much is out throughout, and the rhythm is pretty much throughout. Let's do the left hand. Left hand is your bass and your rhythm and all that. Keep it steady. But we have 2 voices, and we need to accommodate both voices. So you're going to connect these half notes together. Just play them all connected. But the quarter note, you're going to lift up. I'll do the staccatos later. Right now, it's just... As a to play the next one, lift up on that. So that one beat, both notes are down. On this is going to be to tense up, because you want to hold that note down and you get tense. I'm going to hold that note down no matter what. You got to learn to relax. Let the wrists collapse a little bit on each of these. Let the wrist collapse. I'm exaggerating it for you. The point is, let the wrist collapse a little bit. Stay relaxed as best you can. Gets pretty repetitious, and that's pretty much it throughout for the left hand, which is kind of nice because the right hand is going crazy and you need some stability somewhere. So put them together, it's here. Now again, when you first put the hands together, you can forget about rhythm and keeping a beat and all that. All we want to do is get the hands to work together, and you can hesitate all you need to, no big deal. So here, it's here and then here, and then the G comes down right before the half note. There. So you have to practice that because you got to lift up. See? Right there. Work it out really super slow, because this is a tricky one to get the hands to work together. You may spend a week or more on this one, just getting the hands to work together. And then once you can get them to work together, sort of, go back and take out the hesitations. You can keep it really slow. Now there's some problems with this printing, and that's some publishers, they have problems with the printing. Okay, we got that here too. You have to be careful. Most of the time you can look between the two stabs, and as the notes line up, those are the notes that play together. There are exceptions. That is because either there isn't room to make them line up, or because somebody's screwed up, messed up. I think in this case it's an error. They just messed up. You see, and on page 28 in the first line in the last measure, you have the here. These are the beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. Keeping it for you. Well, in the right hand, that A is on beat 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, that A plays at the same time as the A in the left hand. They should be together. They should line up vertically. So the A in the bass clef needs to move over a little bit underneath the A in the right hand. So it's here. So you have to be careful. In most cases they'll line up for you, but you get these errors. I call them errors. I don't think it should be this way. I'm not going to say anything, but I think it's an error. So just be careful on that. Work it out on this rhythm. This is tricky. And once you have that, go have a couple beers or a glass of wine or something. You deserve it. And we'll go back and we'll put in the articulation. On the left hand, connect these half notes. Nothing's marked. I'm just telling you connect them. The quarter note is staccato. Don't play them staccato at first. Play everything as connected as you can. This forces the fingers to feel this. That's important that you develop that control and that feel. Then you can put in the staccatos. Short staccatos. And the left hand or the right hand, you're phrasing. And that's tricky, at least for me it is. I struggle with this. And staccato, but not here. I want to play them both the same. And I fight that constantly. Some people, it comes easy to them. It's disgusting. And the rest of us have to struggle with this. And I do struggle with this. But do the best you can in this staccato, but this is not. You lift up with the rest and all. You do have a few accents occasionally. Just give it a little extra oomph, like the third line down, second measure. Those are a little louder. Now on page 28, the last line, first measure. You have lines of hang on to that, linger on that. Then lift up. See here, I want to do them both the same. No, connect the right hand. See, I struggle with that. Just doing two hands up, but keep at it. It's here and then here. Lift up here, and the next one, and then lift up. You gradually get it. You get that feeling of doing that. This will take a while, but if you get it, it makes it a really nice effect. Really does, and it will help you develop the control you need and the independence of the hand. So I encourage you, as difficult as this is, keep at it for a while. It may take a while. You can work on other things at the same time you're working on this, but hang in there and work on this. Get this one down. Then we can add the dynamics. That goes to the melody. Whatever you think moderately loud is, keep all this other stuff in the background. Good luck with that. And speed, it's just a Feelin Groovy type thing, dude. So it's not fast or slow, it's just in the middle somewhere, and have fun with it. Then once you have that, you can get into the interpreting it. And that's where we take these dotted rhythms and we kind of just turn it into a swing rhythm. And that's where the counting isn't going to be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. It's going to be 1 and 2 and 3, and that's the counting. And you just feel it that way. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 4. And we're playing this not as a dotted rhythm, but as a swung rhythm. And that's it. This is why I wish that it just put in eighth notes rather than a dotted rhythm. So you can just play them normal. And then you just swing them. The problem is a few of these really are straight eighth notes and you're mixing them. And so we have to watch out for that. So just swing these dotted rhythms is what I'm saying. There's a crescendo at the end where you get louder. I mean, that song really ended at the first measure, that last line, Feelin Groovy. The rest of that, the last couple measures, is actually a coda or a tag on the end. It's not labeled coda. Doesn't have to be. Anything a tag on the end is like a coda. It's just it's an afterthought. It's just an afterthought. Then once you get louder in the afterthought, okay, I like to play this with you very slowly, maybe one hand at a time if you need to. Let's just cover, I'm not going to do the dynamics and all, just see if we can get this rhythm stuff. Hopefully you got the fingering okay. It's the rhythm that's the problem. That'll give us 4 counts. 1 and 2 and ready and go, and 1 and